Welcome back to Life of Dividends. This is the dividend income withheld for CONY and HOY for today, July 20th, 2025, which is basically I'm just going to show you what um, the dividend income that has been withheld for both CONY and HOY up to last Friday's close of business. I don't think I'm going to try predicting or estimating what dividends are going to be. Um, my feeling on it is that, based on last week with PLTY or Plady, when they declared a dividend that was well below the IV. I mean, if they're going to do that, then there's really no way of us giving you a general estimation or prediction on that when, um, I mean, they're not, with that particular case, they didn't pay anywhere close to the IV. So, with that being said, let's jump into CONY. And I can only show you here, as you see on the screen, this is what Life of Dividends has been tracking from Retire on Dividends. And of course, this is CONY. Now, let's look at this. We've got everything from November 2024 through July 2025. For the first part, from November through the first payment in May, keep in mind May had two payment cycles in the month of May. But what you can see here from November, uh, we've put those, well, we put the income generated per share, we've highlighted that in an off kind of yellowish color because we could not find the projected income generated per share for those months or those cycles. So we just put the IV in, which again for November 2024, starting there, it was 91 cents. December was $1.13. January was 72 cents. February was 82 cents. March was 50 cents. April was 42 cents. And the first cycle in May was a negative 5 cents. And then moving on to the second payment cycle in May, there was a dollar 46. June was a dollar 17. And as of last Friday's close of the market, Coney had a dollar and 33 cents. Now, that all totals up to a total this fiscal year of the income generated being $8.41. Of that $8.41, Coney should have paid out $7.57 to meet the 90% requirement. But as we see here, as we slide over to the dividends paid out per share, which can easily be Googled and looked up, you see there that we have, starting with November, you have $2.23. December was $1.34. January was 83 cents. February was $1.47, I do believe. March was 60 cents. April was 44 cents. The first cycle in May was 65 cents, and the second cycle in May was 74 cents, and June last month was 54 cents. So we await Coney to declare its dividend this upcoming Wednesday, July 23rd. But as you see there, the dividends do total up this fiscal year to them paying out $8.20. Now, that is well above the 90% requirement of their income generated per share. So that actually leaves Coney with having um, an overpayment to investors of 63 cents. Now, um, basically looking at July, if they've generated $1.33, and they were able to recoup the 63 cents out of that $1.33 to bring them even and flat for the fiscal year. I do believe that would leave us with approximately 70 cents left over, that they could pay out for a dividend and remain flat and even for the month of July, at this part of the fiscal year. As you guys can see, there is 4 payment cycles remaining: July, August, September, October. So yeah, to get flat and even for July, and recoup the 63 cents that they have overpaid according to the estimated tracking that we've been doing. Again, I believe that would leave about a 70 cent credit that they could pay out. And hopefully they will pay that out, considering that after the month of July, they have 3 payment cycles remaining in the fiscal year through October 2025. But we will see what they declare come come Wednesday. But that's where we sit with tracking, or doing an estimated tracking of the income withheld from dividend payouts for the fiscal year 24 and 25 for CONY. Now, we can zoom out here and we will go to HOY. HOY is new, so we pretty much, I think we're closer in range of the estimates because they just started paying. If we zoom in here, um, they just started paying dividends with the payment in May. As you can see there, you look at May 2025, they paid a dividend of $3.31, but yet we were not able to track the income generated for HOY back in May because, well, retire on dividends was not covering HOY back in May. Um, but when we jump to June, we can see that with June, HOY generated, the income generated per share for HOY was $25.06, but yet they paid out $6.50, okay, which left us a credit of $18.56 if you round up. Okay, so we moved into July with a credit of $18.56. And with the close of last Friday's market, HOY generated income per share, according to Retire on Dividends, was $19.70. So if we take the income generated per share for what we've been able to track for June and July, that leaves us a total fiscal year income generated of $44.76, and their required 90% income payout should be an estimate of $40.28. However, when we go to the dividend payout per share, again, we see May at $3.30. We see June at $6.50. And we're waiting for July's declaration this Wednesday. But with that total, we see that fiscal year to date, they've only paid $9.81 of the required $40.28, leaving the income withheld from investors of a negative $30.48 from what Life of Dividends has been able to track, from what Retire on Dividends has presented. So we can see there's quite a lot of money that remains to be paid out. And with July, August, September, and October, we know we have 4 payment cycles for HOY to pay out until the end of the fiscal year 2025. So that $30.48, an estimate. Um, I would think, and I'm not no stock market guru or yield max guru, and again, these are estimates, but I would think with that large amount of income being withheld, I don't think they're going to wait until September or October to pay that out, considering we don't know how much money or how much income they may generate for August, September, and October. But I don't feel as though they should wait till September, October to pay out the income being withheld, because then that would hit the NAV pretty hard if they waited till the last 2 months to pay that out. So, what would make sense to me is that they would divide that up and began paying that out over the hopefully the next, or should we say the remaining, four payment cycles. I know Retire on Dividends, his estimate dividend to be declared was $7.05. If Yield Max and HOOY, and if they are looking at the same or close to the same numbers that we've been able to track, I think we may be in for a surprise, but I don't want to make an estimate because Life of Dividends was way off track with the Plady estimates last week, and again, they didn't even pay their IV according to the IV that had been tracked by Retire on Dividends. So um, I just don't see them waiting to put off Uh, paying out the withheld income to investors until September, October, because that would really hit the NAV pretty hard, and not really give it a significant amount of time to be able to recoup before uh, the next fiscal year begins in November 2025. So those are just some things that make sense to me when it comes to what we've been able to track and the estimates. But just so I'm trying to do my best based on what I can find and what I've been able to see to track the income generated, the dividends paid per share, and the required 90% of income to be paid out, and what has been withheld from investors. So that's what's on the spreadsheet of what I've been able to track, as you can see there. And of course, HOY being as new as it is, um, these are the numbers and the data that we've been able to see. So this is what it is. So I just wanted to upload this and let everybody know and see. Hopefully, with HOY, we've got some super fantastic news or declaration coming out on Wednesday. So we'll all stay tuned and look forward to seeing what they declare and announce. And until then, this is Life of Dividends, giving what our estimated income withheld for the fiscal year 2024 to 2025 for CONY and HOY.